Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing a spectacular 2019 release from Bulgari. This is the Octo Roma Tourbillon Sapphire, and it is everything the name implies. A timepiece made of sapphire and titanium. It is feather light for its 44 millimeter diameter. It is 12.9 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 53.6 millimeters, with a 25 millimeter spacing between the lugs. So while it is large, it does wear very light on the wrist, and at under 13 millimeters thick, it's surprisingly thin as well. The watch is big. You're going to need a wrist of my size or larger, so 16 centimeters circumference or larger to wear the watch. That said, the deceptively thin profile means it will fit underneath the cuff if you must. I saw James Cameron the other day wearing his Rolex Deep Sea Challenge on his wrist underneath the cuff. So I suppose if you have a big enough jacket, any watch can fit underneath the cuff, but this one shouldn't need too much help. Large rectangular scale alligator leather. You can see it's a sort of cobalt blue matte finish, folded edge, monotone stitch, brand new Bulgari factory strap, calfskin on the bottom. Taking a quick look at the buckle, you can see the buckle is a folding clasp, a single fold deployant. It is media blasted. Unlike the case, which is titanium, the clasp is actually media blasted DLC stainless steel. The rest of the watch is titanium. We'll explore that in a moment. But you can see that its most striking features are the sapphire inserts in the case that allow you to look into the BVL 206 movement from the profile. So there's a rather architectural theme here, and part of that architecture includes windows. We have a double knurled crown with a coaxial function selector. The crown does not pull in and out. You leave it in. You press the crown function selector, which interacts with a column wheel, which sets the mode for the crown. Now, everything on this case is first media blasted and then PVD'd with diamond-like carbon, and the combination of the two-stage treatment makes it less susceptible to scratches and denting, which I like to see. You can also appreciate that being DLC and not a cheaper deposit, it is exceptionally scratch-resistant. Now, about this crown, let's talk about how this works. You can see a little aperture next to the winding pinion. Now watch as I press. You can see the column wheel and its indexing horns will move, and then a little red dot will appear. That means that the watch is now in setting mode. So you can see the motion works visible at center, the minute wheel and the hour wheel, all of that being driven by intermediate wheels. The crown wheel is in place, activating that train. Now I press the selector again. You can see the little red dot will disappear. Now the watch is in winding mode, and the crown is in the same position, but now I'm winding. You can see the winding pinion is turning, and you can see that the barrel is coiling up. And then on the reverse side, we have a power reserve indicator, so you can keep track of the 64-hour power reserve of this rather impressive manual wind movement. Now there's more. On the dial set, of course, there's more. The movement has been entirely skeletonized and then PVD blued. We have rose gold inserts for the stations of the hours for the indices, and then we have rose gold hands. We'll do a quick loom shot here. There's actually quite a bit to love with the loom of this watch, and although there's not a lot of it, you can see they loomed the power reserve indicator on the reverse side of the watch, which is quirky but fun. Now, taking a look at the timepiece, you can see that the tourbillon is a flying tourbillon. It is nicely decorated, quite handsomely black polished and beveled. It is a 1-minute tourbillon, and so that means it effectively acts as the seconds hand for the timepiece. Now, it beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour, and it's a modern architecture, which means that it is free-sprung with all the adjustments rendered using masses on the balance wheel, which is a precise method of setting, and also a relatively resilient one against shock. And to better brace this flying tourbillon, which has no upper bridge to secure it, Bulgari uses ball bearings, ceramic ball bearings set widely in the base. You can see on the reverse side, there's a lot of finery. This 20-jewel movement includes a lovely solarization on the crown wheel core. If you look carefully, you can see that the teeth of the ratchet wheel have actually been micro-beveled, which is handsome. There's satination on all the train wheels, and you will appreciate that all screw heads here have been black polished. There's a simple click. The click spring sits underneath the ratchet wheel. The ratchet wheel sits underneath the barrel, which is visible from the top, and you can see it's an open barrel. So even if you're not looking at the power reserve scale on the back, you can see roughly how much energy you have by how tightly coiled the mainspring is. It is surprisingly 50 meters water resistant, which is solidly more than the industry dress watch standard of 20 to 30. So in that regard, a heads up, this is better than average. You can also see that all of the elements of the motion works, including the function selector, have been hand finishing with micro beveling, black polish, and satination, all of which is redoubtable, as this is a true high horology watch. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.